Hey, it's Brent here, and in this video we are going to talk about feeling comfortable in front of the camera by not doing things that make us feel uncomfortable. It's taken me a while to actually feel comfortable to do these YouTube videos, and it's just something I refer to as camera phobia. And the trouble is, if you leave it untreated, what will happen is you won't be able to do YouTube videos like this, you won't be able to do Facebook Lives, and those can have strategic benefits to your digital-based business, your home business, or your side hustle. Practice, and more practice certainly helps to build confidence in front of the camera lens, but it also helps to know what to avoid when you're shooting videos so you can build up that confidence a whole lot faster. And that's what we're going to cover together in this video. So you're actually doing yourself and your audience a disservice when you're in a rush, because it will come through in your video. I think of it as the equivalent of going out for a coffee with a friend and having all the time in the world to chat. It's comfy. It's comfy for everyone, the person that you're chatting with and for yourself. And that's what you want to come through in your video. So just make sure you schedule in extra time for setting up your video equipment and taking it down if you don't have a studio like myself, so you do have enough time to shoot your video without being in a rush. Because we're all more interested in what you have to say when we feel your calmness come through in your video. And it's that exact same calmness that will boost your confidence when you're sitting in front of the lens. A few maybes that we might have when shooting video, maybe my camera's not good enough. Maybe my lighting's not good enough. Maybe what I have to say isn't quite right. And when we put together too many maybes, what happens is we want to just pack up the lights and pack up the camera before we even hit the record button. I'm all for shooting good quality video, but even the professionals know that sometimes you just got to draw the line. Unless you have an unlimited budget for video equipment, well, sometimes you just got to make the best out of what you have. And there's lots of resources here on YouTube to get the most out of your existing equipment. For example, my DSLR camera, it's getting pretty old. In fact, I can't even change the lens on it because I dropped it once, slightly dented it, and now the lens won't come off. But I make it work. I don't have the best lighting either, and maybe my sound isn't the greatest, but I'm working on it to get better, to improve the sound. So don't let those maybes get the better of you, because the more times you're able to hit that record button, the more times you get to practice and get better and feel more comfortable in front of the lens. Listen, if you're not totally comfortable in front of the camera just yet, the last thing you want to do is have that viewfinder on the camera facing you. And the reason is we're our own biggest critics. So it's not going to be very productive to be shooting video while criticizing yourself as you see yourself shoot the video. It's not productive. Turn it around. The other problem with that viewfinder is it's super distracting. It just wants to draw your eyes to look at it. It's like, don't look into the light, but it's so hard, it's right there. Set your shot up first using the viewfinder, get yourself positioned properly, and then when you hit the record button, turn that viewfinder around so you can't see it. Now you face another issue. You're gonna be staring into that lens. And to me, it feels like this dead eye staring back at me, and I find it really difficult to talk to it. So what I do is I take a picture out of a magazine and I post it over the lens, so I'm actually talking to a face right now as I talk to you. I'll show you what I mean with my phone here. And as you can see, I have a smiling face on my camera. That's Jimmy Chin. He's a professional photographer. And I love this picture because he's smiling back at me as I talk to you. Just makes it so much more comfortable to do video talking to someone else rather than talking to no one. Might sound a little bit weird, but give it a try if that lens is making you feel a little intimidated to talk to it. Can't tell you how many times I've left my phone on doing a video, and in the middle of the video, the phone rings. It's hard to come back from that. My suggestion, turn the mobile phone onto airplane mode, and if you're old school like me and still have a landline, turn all your ringers off. That way you can get through your video, feel more confident, and you won't have that annoying ring rattle your confidence. So let's say you've outlined your video and now you're wondering whether you should script out everything you want to say. I would suggest you don't, and here's why. The good thing about scripting your video is that, yes, it will cover everything you want to say and you'll have it all in front of you. The trouble with it is, how are you going to read that? And if you're not able to read it, then how are you going to memorize it? I've tried it, it's really difficult. So what do? Well, I use a hybrid approach here. I start jotting down notes on paper about what I'm going to say. I go through a lot of pens. And as you can see, these are just notes. And what I try to do is when I shoot these videos, I try to go through my notes before I turn on the camera. And that way, it doesn't feel like I'm reading it to you, but I am still following what I wanted to say in my notes. So like I said, it's a bit of a hybrid approach where I am, in fact, scripting what I want to say, but they're more notes than an actual script. But that's just me. Go with what works for you. Of course, there are many other things you can do to feel more comfortable in front of the camera, but I hope what I've offered you here will help you avoid some of the things that will make you feel uncomfortable. To save time and have flow to your video, it really helps to have an outline. And what I've put together for you is a remedy guide sheet in the show notes below that'll help you outline your video. It just has some spots where you can fill in the blanks and get that video outlined before you shoot. Finally, if you like this remedy I shared on how to be unstoppable in your digital-based business, home business, or side hustle, then I invite you to subscribe. I'm here each and every week with new videos, and I'd love for you to be here for the next one. Thanks so much for watching, and remember to be unstoppable. Cheers.